Hi, I'm Natatu, and you're watching the Quitting Tabarruj series.
So I feel like there's entirely too much pressure on people to dress a certain way, look a certain way, and it's really affected our society because there's more pressure on how you look than there is on who you are as a person inside. I feel like the majority of women put so much focus on looking sexy, looking hot, getting validation from men's attention or from looking better than the next female. And all of that attention and effort that they put into that is taking away from the attention and effort that they could be putting into who they are as a person. And that's kind of the priority these days is what you look like. And you could be a really good person, but if you don't look good, you're not going to feel like a good person. And I think that it's quite the opposite, or it should be quite the opposite. I think that you should be focusing on who you are inside before what you look like outside. Additionally, I think that you're never going to be happy with who you are inside, and you're never going to fully respect yourself or be fully respected by others if you are not getting your confidence and happiness from within, but rather from validation and attention from people of the other sex or just people in general.
Today's my favorite outfit. I feel like pink is my color, to be honest. And especially like dirty pink or whatever this color is called. It's really nice. Also, I completely forgot that like today's Thursday, so I'm supposed to fast. But yeah, I did wake up and like didn't eat anything or drink anything, and then I was like, oh wait, today's Thursday. So yeah, I'm gonna fast today and also have to stay on campus literally all day because I have a night class. Like I have back-to-back classes, and one of them is at night, like late. So I'll be at school till like maybe 11 or 10. Yeah. At least it's gonna be like an empty campus because around that time people are not really there, which is nice. But yeah, the nice thing is that it takes a lot less time to get ready in the morning because I'm not like doing anything to my face. I just have to put on an outfit and I'm good to go, you know? Yeah, and I'm probably gonna break my fast during one of my classes. Probably the online class. I'm gonna eat at the same time, and then I'll have to go pray right after my classes. And then on Saturday, I have my Dawa club thing, which is basically gonna be all day. It's gonna be like from 2 to 7. So I'll only have the morning to do whatever I wanna do, which is probably gonna be studying, I guess. I don't know.
Modesty is not very common these days. And it's very sad to see because what it's doing to these young women is a lot of damage mentally and a lot of damage to their self worth, where they're thinking that they're actually raising their self worth by dressing provocatively or by, looking a certain way. They're actually decreasing their self worth, in my opinion, because as soon as those eyelashes come off and as soon as you put on, a turtleneck or cover your hair, you don't feel like you're worthy anymore because you don't look the part. And I think it's very sad what it's doing to our society. I think it's very sad what it's doing to both men and women. Modesty is great. And once you start truly being modest, wearing the hijab, covering your chest, covering your arms, you know that you're leading with your heart, you're leading with who you are, and there's nothing for people to, take away from you other than who you are as a person. And that truly inspires you to be a good person because that's what you're being judged off of is who you are as a person, not what you're wearing, not your makeup, not your clothes. You're being judged off who you are, and that's how it should be, I feel. Because looks are shallow. Looks do not matter. When you die, people are not going to be talking about, oh, she wore the best clothes. She always had her breasts out. She always had her hair done. They're going to be talking about who you were as a person. And if you waste your life putting so much pressure on yourself about what you look like, you're wasting all the opportunities to grow as a person and be the person that will be remembered as a genuinely good person, a kind person, a smart person, a courageous person, whatever the case may be. I think it's a lot braver to make yourself modest, to wear the hijab, to wear the abayas or the appropriate clothing in Islam It's a lot braver to do that than it is to make yourself look provocative. Because, like I said, then you're leading with who you are and not covering it up with a facade and not um, basically trying to, they're basically like pimping themselves out because they're specifically exaggerating what they look like for the sole purpose of gaining males' attention, whether that's just for the attention, whether that's to find somebody who's going to give you money or take you out, or if it's to find a boyfriend, whatever the case may be. It's definitely not right. And women are being brainwashed by this society into believing that that's normal and that you're not going to be valued, respected, liked, or paid attention to if you're not being seductive and provocative. So they put their whole attention on what they look like and not what's within. Additionally, when you're dressing like that and purposely exaggerating your beauty and changing what you look like for attention from other people, you're going to also let in a lot of people in your life who don't deserve to be in your life, who are only in there for shallow reasons. And that's going to cause you a lot of problems, a lot of pain, and it's going to cause a lot of respect to be lost for you by your peers and yourself.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. I will be adding my 2 cents on the topic of struggles with hijab, tabarruj, and temptations. I'll start off with the struggles of hijab for starters, and it all depends on or stems from the type of society that you live in and who you surround yourself with, as well as like how you are taught Islam, because we are all in some type of way attached to this dunya, right? So it's totally normal to want to do things or have the urge to participate in actions that others do in this life. So I feel like we have to keep that reminder that there is certain things that we do for the dunya, but also things that we need to prioritize for the akhirah. And especially, like I mentioned, based on the type of society that you live in, certain individuals, members of the society, may prioritize actions in this dunya. So I believe that a Muslim woman struggling with hijab just needs to align themselves with what they want in the long term and try to block out the temptations that the dunya has, especially in Western societies where it's the norm. I would like to add that practicing Islam outwardly and expressively isn't the norm in the West at all. Seeing a Muslim woman wearing a headscarf does shock a lot of people in the West. Thus, it is easier for Muslim women to just feel tempted to fit in, as I previously mentioned. In addition, who you look up to or the type of media that you consume will dictate your journey in terms of reaching the point of wearing the hijab, right? If you consume individuals that are kafirs or that do not prioritize deen, etc., it won't give you the urge to wear it. It won't encourage you at all because you are what you consume, right? So that's my take on the struggle of hijab. And in terms of tabarruj accusations, I believe that, especially through social media, it stems from these haram polices that lead to Muslim women acting upon tabarruj more and more and more. Because at the end of the day, in Islam, you are supposed to advise your brothers and sisters, but you're not supposed to judge at all or have certain connotations when you're advising, because then that defeats the complete purpose. So all to say, there is a way to advise these people as in Muslim women online, even in person, but it's way easier to hide yourself behind a screen and just judge blatantly and try to cover it up as advising. No, you're just blatantly a haram police and you just do it and you're not gaining any more deeds. More so, you are gaining like sins, you know? So that's my take on that. Additionally, on social media, these haram polices typically don't even have true interest at heart for this Muslim woman. Especially when I see Muslim reverts, it breaks my heart. Because if we're being extremely real, they'd rather just troll and poke fun at these Muslim women rather than really advising them. It comes to their advantage in their own entertainment. They don't really care to advise these people. It makes them have a giggle out of it, so might as well comment it. And then the fuel that you get from getting additional likes and comments and replies make you feel even more better, when in reality it's the worst thing you could have done, you know? And obviously we know that this typically comes from Muslim men, which makes it even worse, because you're supposed to sympathize with us Muslim sisters, but rather you're trolling, poking fun, and just trying to embarrass these Muslim women when end of the day they're trying. And Nabintu also mentioned previously that it's crazy because there is steps into getting to the point of wearing the hijab, just like steps into learning how to pray. But would you make fun of a Muslim brother that was learning how to pray but didn't know it down from the jump? No, you wouldn't, because they're still putting in the effort to learn how to pray. So same thing applies when it comes to hijab, but ultimately also as men, they can't really fully empathize with these women. So it's just easier to just judge, because they will never understand. And that's just the truth. You know, you could understand the religion and the purpose and why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala advised women, but you'll never know how it feels to be in that woman's position. So like I said, it all comes down to those aspects, and additionally how it can also be indoctrinated in different types of cultures. Tabarruj particularly, I believe that tabarruj is very indoctrinated in many different cultures. It's the norm, and it's very, very hard to unlearn. So that's just my take on it. And yeah.
So like I said in the morning, I think today was my favorite outfit. And yeah, even someone complimented it, the cardigan. And like, honestly, today, I'm not gonna lie, like, it was like a gloomy-ish day because the weather, like, there was no sun today. And yeah, and in terms of the hijab, the whole point of it was, of me trying to wear the hijab better, was just so that I could like feel closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and all that. And I feel like it did help, but I just wish it had a bigger impact, like more of a life-changing impact.
It was a nightmare. I can't. It was a nightmare, and the way from where I live to the place they took us, it was like the food. Most of the people, they don't have electricity, they don't have water, and it's not secure because the gangs come from the prison. It was very frightening. Oh, I can't. Like I was born again.